Hello, warriors. Welcome to the U movement. I am B. We've got major kriyas happening today. The last 2 to 3 days have been very difficult days. I feel like I've aged about 20 years in those 3 days. I am reminded of one of those little TikTok-like languages I did last week to Chumbawamba, where, I fall down, I get up again, I fall down, I get up again. And that's what this awakening really is like, because I think it's more your ego that falls down and gets up again over and over again. And every time I get up and yes, I'd run and try to get as much accomplished and as much done as I can in that time. And then Spirit's like, nope, back down you go. You've got more to clear, more to learn, more to purify, just more. And so now this is five years of this, and you would think by now I would trust the process, and that's the phrase that keeps coming into me over and over again from different sources of, keep trusting this process. But as I've said in countless videos, trust is not my strong suit, nor is patience, for that matter. But you're literally left with nothing else you can do. Like really, literally, there's all of a sudden you get forward momentum, and I was getting all these good shifts and changes happening, and then it's like, no, you're not done yet. We're shutting everything down and putting you back in a timeout, and it literally feels like I'm being held in one place. Like I just it like being squeezed. I shouldn't say held. It feels like squeeze. So on the physical, Kundalini has been my Kundalini energy has been moving through the sacral area, which has come with a lot of cramping and heart chakra, just tight squeezes. I've talked in a good bit of many videos of these heart chakra openings or activations, and they sound so pretty, oh, I'm having a heart chakra opening, like in reality, it feels at times like you're having a heart attack, which you're not, and it feels like for me, like just being totally squeezed, and when the higher heart chakra, because we have a heart chakra on top of our heart chakra, which is the higher heart chakra, and this is the thalamus gland, and this chakra here is the housing of a real unconditional love. And this felt like being shattered open. And now the energy is in my head, and when the energy is in my head, it's exceptionally confusing. I feel really lost at the moment. I don't know really who I am, because I is a construct of the ego, and I amn't I anymore. Sorry, that's what they said in Ireland, amn't. I amn't I anymore. I just am. Like I am breathing, I am existing, but having an identity, an I, is challenging at the moment. All the I's I was before have disintegrated, and I've gone through a lot of grieving cycles of letting go of all the other I's that existed before me, the me's. So through the ages, through the years, and I can look at those me's in photographs and barely recognize them as me, as I. And I look in the mirror and I don't recognize me as it's a very bizarre sensation to look at oneself. Although in reality, I've spent most of my life looking at myself in a mirror with curiosity, because what was staring back at me was never me. I seem to be getting closer and closer to recognition, but it's weird, because it's like, is this identity, this physical form, who I am? And the answer to that question is no. It is not. It is not who I am. So then that leaves, well, then who am I? What am I? What am I here for? What is the point of it all? What is the purpose? What is my purpose for being here? What am I being guided into? And I don't have answers for any of those questions. I have answers to what am I being guided out of, and so it's stabilizing as a reference point to look back at who I was and what I was, to identify and cultivate a greater trust in the process, because the process that I'm to trust in, this process of metamorphosis, of transformation, has taken me from this woman who was sick, who was trapped, who was depressed, who was overweight and had all these traumas locked deep inside of her, that she couldn't even recognize or see. Like, I had no idea the extent of trauma my body was carrying, because for so long I held it together with this and that. It unfortunately, this or that had the strength of paper mache when Spirit came along and decided to start bashing it up to get all the candy and the good stuff out of it. And releasing all that I have released, and letting go of all the things that I've let go of, and changing and transforming from that person to this person who's a midway point to whatever Spirit is reforming me to be. It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling, it's just but it's because I can look back that I can trust that this is for my highest and greatest good. Because while you're in the confusion, and the identity collapse, and obviously more ego death, it sometimes feels like you're going like nuts, or it feels like nothing makes sense. Nothing at all makes sense. And the egoic mind desperately tries to find answers for the nonsensical. And there are no answers that the mind can be necessarily satisfied with, because the mind, it is beyond the mind. A spiritual awakening is so far beyond the mind. This twin flame journey is so beyond the mind. It is, but the mind so wants to know. My mind wants to know. So it's like, in using the reference point of the past, I can trust the process. In looking at, I used to be this fat and now I'm this thin. I used to be this sick. I used to have this disease, or this condition, or this problem, and this disorder, and now I don't. I used to drink and smoke and have all these addictions at play, and now I don't. I used to grasp hold of people and have these behaviors, and a lot in codependent energy, and now I don't. And now I'm in solitude and learning what it is to be independent, and that in itself is very difficult. So while I'm in this collapsing identity, I can see what I was and what I am no longer, but I have yet to figure out what I am and what is the point of it all? What is the purpose for it all? And I know, like, while you're going through purification, while you're going through dark night of the soul, while you're going through purges, while you're going through the aches and the pains and the the clenching, it feels the opposite of what it is, because it feels brutal, it feels miserable, it feels overwhelming, but what it is, once we get through to the other side and we rise again, we fall down, we get up again, and we rise again, is we're actually lighter, healthier, and more pure. And it is, I don't know if I'm telling you this more as a means to tell myself this. I think I might be on this particular video, because this journey of heart activations and heart expansions is the core of the transformation for me, because I look back to those women that I was before, and at her core, she had no idea what love was. Absolutely none. Like, she was always an exceptionally loving person and wanted love, and desperately searched for it everywhere and anywhere, in all the wrong places. And this learning to love the fuck out of ourselves, and that's where it all began. Like, I had this twin situation, and I felt a love I'd never felt or experienced in my life, for another human being, and then it sets you off on this journey of bringing all that energy back into self and learning self-love. And the process of learning self-love, is the hardest thing ever. When you've spent your entire life thinking that it was something somebody else would give you. It's not something I've ever known to be given to me. But it is something that I had to cultivate and learn to give to myself. So there's been a lot of purges over the years, and definitely over the last few days, as I redefine what love is. Because love in itself it is a construct that I think my wounded self, my wounded me's, my earlier versions of me's, didn't necessarily believe in fully, like didn't believe it existed. And it's through this bizarre process, like a boomerang of like having your heart cracked open and loving somebody that you can't have, that you have to learn to take all that flowing energy and return to sender, which is you know, return to yourself and comfort yourself and love yourself in a way that nobody's ever taught you to do before. Like, true unconditional love is not anything I've ever experienced before. Any love that I have received was very conditional, many strings attached. It was negotiable and negotiated the terms of, you know. There would be settling and sacrificing, and it's a sad, messed up journey. It is a sad, messed up journey. But I am grateful. I am grateful for a lot of what's come of this, like this process, even though it kind of defies words a little bit. For a brief moment in time, like so brief, I felt a love that like could move mountains. And mountains, it moved. It moved one after another. All the mountains that were standing in my way of being in alignment with myself, my soul. It moved the mountains of ill health and addictions and distortions, and it moved me. Yes, I always used to think that true love, would, the expression goes, a man would move mountains for you, for true love. And this true love, I moved the mountains for me, the masculine within me, this activated energy that brought me into wholeness with me, it is what moved the mountains. And there's beauty in that. There is beauty in that. But there's also, it's like bittersweet. It is a bittersweet. So yes, today I guess I'm sitting in a lot of bittersweet energies of gratitude for this journey and trying to trust the process, that it's leading me to my highest and greatest good. And I rely on the proof of the past to recreate my views of what the future could be. I let go of the limiting beliefs of what love is. You know, it's not how I thought it was going to play out, but for a brief moment in time, I got to experience a magic that changed my life in every way possible. So much so that it's unrecognizable to me. Yes. So I guess I wanted to hop on today a little bit because I wanted to show again how absolutely up and down this journey is, how it metamorphosizes us into something beyond our mental constructs of what we think we are and what we think life is and what we think love is, into this place of total bewilderment and awe. I am in awe of the transformation that I have been through. And I hope that these videos have left a legacy of sorts that do offer comfort and offer support to others that are going through this process. I do think that there is value in my work. I know that I've reached, enough people that I can say that I've saved a life or two. I have, because this journey is overwhelming, confusing. The times when you're in the loss and processing through all the losses, and going through ego death and everything else can be harder than anyone could imagine. Again, it's not a mental construct that somebody could read in a book and understand. So I hope that me doing these videos helps others feel understood and less alone and supported and loved. Because yes, this unconditional love, once activated, it is like a flame that burns for all. I wouldn't have had the capacity to love like I love now, for everyone. You know, it's very bizarre. I've been, it's just bizarre. My mind is struggling. My mind is struggling to keep up, and that's okay. The mind doesn't need to keep up. My body is doing well. My emotions are up and down, but not hitting the highs or the lows that it used to be, like it's like I'm somewhere in here going, like what is happening? What is happening now? What is going on? You ride it out. At least I feel a little bit like I'm at least on the surfboard now, where a lot of this journey I've been dragged behind it, sputtering and in tremendous fear. This journey is transforming me. And it'll be interesting to see in a year's time who I am, what I'm doing, where I am. I have no idea. Every time I try to grab hold of a vision, there is no manifesting. I don't know what people talk about with all this manifesting stuff. There's no manifesting in a spiritual awakening. It is relaxing and releasing and accepting and allowing and surrendering over and over and over again, so spirit can redefine your life as spirit sees fit. If you're meant to be in partnership, you'll be in partnership. And if you're meant to be on your own, you'll be on your own. And if you're meant to work in a certain place, you'll be working in a certain place. And if you're meant to not be working, you'll be not working. And if you'll, and it goes on and on and on. We just over and over learn to surrender to the divine, our time, our energy, our tears, our everything. And while we're surrendering, you're not going to get any itineraries or any guidance in regards to how long it's going to take or what's going to happen next week, next month, next year. It's just completely learning to trust the process. So that's what I'm doing today, is I'm learning to trust the process. And I am sending everybody who's on this journey my absolute love and compassion as you learn to navigate and trust the process too. If you would like to book a one-on-one with me to discuss any part of the process in regards to maybe letting go of some of the addictions that you're struggling with, or some of the behaviors, or some of the beliefs, or some of the dark night of the soul, or some of the why did I bring in this narcissistic energy? What am I supposed to learn from it? What is the karma? Anything like that, please feel free to send me off an email and let's book a one-on-one Zoom call, and we can discuss some of your awakening. As I said, I've been on this for a journey for a really long time now. I even kind of look at it like I think we've been on this journey since birth. Everything is interconnected. It wasn't like, there may have been moments where we're like, oh, I'm a little bit more awake now, but it's, awakenings within awakenings within awakenings. There's so many layers, and it's never ending from what I can see. But we just need to trust the process that eventually we'll have some a greater degree of awareness and understanding, and peace ultimately would be fantastic. So that all said, peace in.